one of them escaped out of the cage.
Oh no.
And it died. Welcome back, guys, to episode 19 of the current hour.
19, the big 1-9.
Getting close to the 20.
The 20, the rebranding of the pod. Yeah. We've come a long way, eh?
We have. It's
Episode
been
19. If you think about it, it's like 19 weeks, technically.
Yeah.
So we've almost been around for a year, doing solid apps for a year. Jokes. That
Almost.
is so wrong. That is. I was thinking 26 fortnights, but anyway, yeah, not quite. But we'll get there soon. In about 42 more weeks, 43 more weeks. Anyway, let's move swiftly onwards. Yeah, welcome into the episode today. Thank you for tuning in. If you managed to catch last week's app, thank you. But this week we've got a bunch of cool topics to talk about. It's going to be like shower thoughts almost. There's a lot of like topics we're going to talk about. It's just like makes your mind just bog. So get ready for that. That's quite fun. But we'll start out with the usual segment to kickstart the potty. So how have you been this week, Cal? Pretty good?
Been pretty good.
That's good to hear.
What have I watched? Is that what we're...
Well, yeah, I was just asking how your week's been. But yeah, what have you watched, bro?
Week's been good. Been working a lot.
Yeah,
but I still managed to get in a bit of time to watch The Matrix.
Nice.
First time watching The Matrix.
Nice.
Which I'm shocked that I've never seen this movie before.
Is it that good?
It is good. It is good. I think the concept just really shook me.
Yeah, right.
It's like, have you seen The Truman Show?
I have. That is a good
Do you remember
show.
the first time you watched The Truman Show?
Yeah.
And you have that feeling of like this existential questioning, like, oh, maybe my life's a TV show. It's the same thing with The Matrix. I walked away going, what?
Yeah, right.
Just being shook by the concept of it. I've got a fan theory, but we'll touch on that later.
We'll touch on that later, yeah, for sure.
For those of you that don't know, The Matrix is just basically about these people becoming aware that they're in a simulation. That's essentially the premise. So, yeah, it's pretty wacky.
That is interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, right. So would you, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would you put Matrix?
Let's say like 8.5.
8.5? That's pretty high.
It wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially like considering it is considered, I think, one of the better movies of all time. I think objectively, like on the IMDb rating,
like on the top 10.
I don't know if it's top 10, but it would be top 20 definitely.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. I mean, I think I said it. Oh, I did say it on here. Shawshank Redemption. Like I watched that for the first time a couple of weeks.
Plane.
Yeah, on the plane back from.
Good. I can talk about a fan theory for that too.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it was the first time watching it, and it's what, number 1, or it's in the top 3. I think Godfather's just number 1, but Shawshank's like.
Yeah, it's always Shawshank, Dark Knight,
and Godfather.
They're always floating around.
Yeah.
Top 3.
But like watching knowing that it's a top 3 rated movie, it was like pretty cool. And it was like, oh, I see why people like it.
It's just a good story.
It is, yeah.
Redemption.
It is pretty good. But yeah. No, what's it called? What did I watch this week? Thanks for asking. Uh,
What'd you watch this week, Jonah?
Oh, thanks, mate. I had a bit of a sluggish week. The Misso and I, we started watching The Office.
US?
Yeah, the US one.
Episode 1, season 1?
So, yeah, because she's never watched it before.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we started watching that. We usually just watch it with like 2 episodes with dinner or something because they're just so easy to watch. But yeah, we're just on season 1. I've already seen it, so I like had the same excitement. I think it was like the diversity day. I think it's like literally episode 2 of season 1, diversity day. And now I like turned up, I was like, oh, such a good episode. Like I remember it so well. As soon as it starts, it's like, oh yeah. But
wait till you get to customer survey. I watched that the other day.
Oh really?
Season 5, customer survey. It's the one where it's the one we did.
The scene we did, yeah, right. Yeah, well, that was one, but that's not the point I was going to say. I watched a Netflix original the past 2 nights. Had to do 2 watches, but it's called The Union with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. It's a Netflix original. Like I think we were talking about it last week about Netflix originals just being, classic.
Is this the one he filmed in Sydney or in Brisbane?
No. They filmed it in England. I don't think that's out yet because that was like last year they were filming it.
Yeah, because George saw him at the gym.
Saw
When
him,
was
yeah.
that? I thought it was the start of the year.
Start of this year.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, it was alright. It was a pretty good movie. It was Mark Wahlberg's great, man. Like he's funny. He nails it. And like halfway through the movie, it did get a little bit, what's going on? But I just thought about that Mark Wahlberg is just going off a script and he's probably just like not even using the script because he's that kind of person. He's that kind of actor that just goes off book and just has a play around. It was pretty cool. But like there's bits and times when you're watching movies or TV shows where you're like, is this actually scripted? Like, is this planned? Like there was one moment in that movie where he was like, he went to go take a phone call. But he was like on this like romantic hill where Halle Berry and him like met back in high school and they went back to that hill like 30 years later. And he's like, oh, I've just got to go take a phone call. And then like walked away and then put the phone to his ear and essentially just started playing the song that they were obsessed with when they were dating in high school. And was like, oh, it's like, that seemed so genuine and so real that it didn't seem like it was in the script. But, yeah, just like moments like that. It's just like...
I get what you're saying. It's like...
improv almost.
Yeah. Did he... like, he produced it?
I don't know.
He probably did, because I'm pretty sure he's got his own production company.
Produce... But, I mean, it's a Netflix original, so... I don't know if he would have produced it. It doesn't actually say. Production companies, Netflix, closest to the whole productions, municipal productions.
I'm pretty sure he owns one. He owns a production company. Anyway.
It is what it is.
But, yeah, I was just curious because when people produce their own films, they kind of... just do whatever they want.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I just looked at it. It's got a 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb and 37 Rotten Tomatoes. That's terrible. It was pretty good.
Ouch.
But I mean, again, it's like that's Netflix originals for you, you know? Mark Wahlberg is a co-founder of the production company Unrealistic Ideas. So they did not do that one. Anywho, swiftly moving on.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10? Probably like a 6.75. Like
a 6.75.
6.75 or a 7. Like it wasn't amazing, but it was just, it's just a easy watch. It looked funny. It was funny. It had action, good action. I'll give it a 7. Like, just your average movie, you know? Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say go out of your way, go watch it, but...
Something nice
Yeah.
to have on.
Exactly. But, I mean, coming up in the watch list, like, I'm a sucker for Lion King, man. I'm a sucker, like, absolute sucker. I would watch that 10 times over. And Mufasa's coming out in, like, just over a week. The live-action Mufasa movie. Oh, I'm going to see that day one it comes out.
So you're a big fan, but I've said this a gazillion times, but I just don't see the need.
What, for Lion King?
No, for a Mufasa.
But it's his story.
But do we need to? I don't know.
No, we don't. We don't need anything, Cal. But it's good.
I haven't seen. I don't know if I've seen the live action of Lion King.
You haven't, bro. Honestly, the
Maybe
live
I have.
action was like pretty good. It was like the whole CGI aspect.
I know Seth Rogen was in it.
Yeah, he was the. I don't know what animal it was. You know the meerkat and the.
Is he the meerkat?
And the hog. No, he's the hog.
That was the hog.
Yeah. I think
Classic.
it is. Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it.
Interesting. Yeah.
But do you reckon it's better than the cartoon?
Oh no,
original?
the cartoon's the cartoon. You know, like you can't beat that.
Can't beat it.
No. Pumbaa is his name. Pumbaa. And Billy Eichner. You know Billy on the Street?
Oh yeah.
He's he's Timon, which is the partner he's with. So.
Oh, interesting.
It's Billy on the Street. He's funny. He's so funny. But yeah. I'm very keen for. I'm keen to watch yeah, there you go, like the meerkat and the hog. I'm keen to watch Moana 2 as well, for some reason.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up with all that. So there's a Moana 2,
Yeah.
but there's also a Moana live action.
Yeah, the Moana live action hasn't come out yet though. That's filming.
So they're doing it's a Moana 2,
And a Moana
and then a
live action.
Moana live action.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly the same thing that's happened with Lion King, bro. Lion King 1, live action, Lion King, and technically Lion King 2, but it's like a prequel to Lion King because it's all about how Mufasa became king and all that.
I know there was a sequel that followed Simba's son. Do you remember that? It was a cartoon.
Yeah.
I think it was Lion King 2 or 3. They made a cartoon.
Yes.
And it
Lion
was
King
like
2.
It was Simba's son becoming king.
Yeah.
This was like the next generation.
Simba's Pride. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dead. I don't think I watched that. That was 1998. Yeah, true, because it's all about
It's
him
like
and
the next generation.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I guess actually, you know what? Maybe they do need a Mufasa prequel
Yeah, and then that's
because they
the
haven't
series,
covered that
you know?
story yet.
Exactly. We know all about Simba,
So
but we don't know about Mufasa. Like, it just looks so visually pleasing, bro. Honestly. And Aaron Pierre, he's in that movie that I was talking about, I think, a couple weeks ago with... did I say I watched a movie where it was just like all physical combat? No, like shooting in the gun, like no killing people, but just using physical I can just click on him and find out. It's on Netflix as well. Rebel Ridge.
haven't seen it.
I don't think I told it on the potty, but I think I told you just like what it is. He's pretty good in that, and he's got a very deep voice. So he's playing Mufasa, so he's gonna suit that. And Childish Gambino's Simba. Oh, Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen are back in this one.
That's the same cast.
Essentially.
Isn't it?
Essentially. I mean, Yeah, you got Beyonce as Nala. So that's pretty sick. But yeah, thank you, Beyonce.
Went down a bit of a rabbit hole there.
Yeah, we did. Sorry, but hey, that's what a podcast is.
It's all good.
Anyway, so we've got a few topics to talk about. We did have one from last week that we will use because it is interesting and we wanted to talk about, but we just didn't get time. So what we were going to talk about last week, just before we start this though, if you can hear just like loud noise, that's because I got the dryer and the wash machine on, so I do apologise, but I don't think you can. So if you can't, then ignore that I said that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about some alternate history scenarios. So we have to talk about what life would be like if these major historical events had a different outcome, i.e., what if dinosaurs never existed? Never went extinct, sorry. That's two separate things.
Never went extinct.
Never went extinct. We'll start off with that one.
Okay. Well, do you think we would have survived?
As in, do you think human race would be a thing?
Okay, well, yeah, two questions. One, do you think human race would become a thing? And two, if we did, do you think we would have survived?
I have a feeling, because we have so many animals, like, in this world, so many species of animals, I think we would survive. Like, I think human race could have become, like, you think about the cavemen, they could have, like, tamed them back in the day. You never know. Probably not the T-Rex. That probably would have been, like, the lion of our thing, if that makes sense.
But would we have had the opportunity to, like, advance as a species when we've got, like, T-Rexes running around and...
Oh, you mean like technologically and economically and all that? Probably not.
Like, if we built cities and shit and you've got T-Rexes running around, doesn't really make sense.
Probably not. Yeah, they just trample on the buildings and stuff. I mean, if you just watch Jurassic World, that's essentially if dinosaurs didn't go extinct.
True, but then we had a big gap where they didn't exist.
That is true. But that is also a movie, Jurassic World, so you can't really say it will be all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think, I think if we go back, I don't even think we would have become a species. I think we would have been a completely different type of animal. Because if you think about the food chain and the order of animals,
that's what we've got written down, like entirely different ecosystems and food chains.
I reckon we would have been at the bottom, and we wouldn't have been humans. I don't think we would have been as sophisticated. We would have been some kind of ape.
Yeah, right.
Because we wouldn't have had the opportunity to...
Do you believe in that?
What?
That we've evolved from apes?
What do you mean?
Well, like, do you believe that humans were once monkeys?
Yeah.
I don't know if I do, man. I don't. Realistically, like, where's the proof?
So are you talking like religious, like a religious point of view?
No. What do you mean religious?
I mean that we were, like, it starts with Adam and Eve. We kind of just spawn as humans. Like, we didn't evolve. Is that your take?
I guess, like, I'm not religious and I'm not taking a religious take, but I do believe in God. Like, I believe there's something up there, but
so I believe that there's something up there.
Yeah.
I don't believe in a deity, so I don't believe in like a God.
I don't believe that there's a force or anything. Yeah, so I do believe that, like the Adam and Eve story, I guess. But I don't know. Like, I just find.
There's an interesting... I'll tell you this. There's an interesting theory called the stoned ape theory. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay. So, essentially, the theory goes that we were all once apes, or form of an ape.
Yeah.
And in Africa, where we all where that species originated from, because it's assumed that we all come from Africa. That's where the origins of our species came from, Africa.
Interesting.
And scientists have discovered, I think quite recently, like in the last 50 years, that there was an abundance of psilocybin mushrooms, like magic mushrooms, in the area. They've literally found it in soil samples. And so...
What were those cavemen doing?
The theory is that the apes would eat these mushrooms a lot and would experience these things and feel these things, and neural pathways would connect in their brains, and they would realize, oh, maybe I can use my hands
bro.
This is the theory. Maybe I can use my hands to climb trees or build rocks and tools and things.
Well, there is like the saying, like obviously I worked at the zoo, but like I'm not saying that I know this stuff, but there is like proof that monkeys and gorillas like do a lot of stuff that is human.
Yeah. I mean, they've proven we are
The
closest
links.
to orangutans. So our DNA is the closest to orangutans.
Really?
Yeah. And
I would have said gorillas.
yeah, I would have thought that too, but it's orangutan. Orangutan were the closest. And then I think it's
Interesting.
chimpanzee.
Yeah,
The
chimps. Yeah,
like chimps are just
Planet of the Apes.
quite similar to us. But they've also... Sorry, going back to the stone ape thing. Yeah, so they would eat these mushrooms and then they would learn how to use tools, and then they would share that knowledge, and then we would advance as a species.
Nah.
It's really interesting.
So yeah, I just find it's like landing on the moon, like that whole conspiracy theory. Like, did it happen? Did it not happen?
There's no way to know, but
I have a feeling. Do you believe in the moon landing?
yeah.
Yeah, I do too. But all those people that say it's not real, blah blah blah, it was fake. It's like, I have a feeling it happened, and then those people are saying it's fake, and then a lot of people just jumped on the bandwagon. So now it's just a topic of debate.
Well, I think the reason why people consider it to be fake is just the political side of things, because it was obviously a race.
The Cold War and all that. Yeah,
it was a race against the Russians, and so yeah, I think if you bring in that aspect, people go, oh well, maybe it was fake. Maybe they staged the whole thing just to get ahead.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, either way, we can get to the moon now, so
that is true.
that's all that matters, I guess.
There are people like in the International Space Station, which is like right next to the moon. So, isn't it? Pretty close. No,
It's in our orbit, isn't it?
I don't know.
All right. Do you have another one?
I do. So, what if World War II never happened? And then you could flip that one.
Yeah.
You could flip that one to also ask a sub-question. What if World War II ended differently?
Did you do modern history?
I did.
So I think you should take the reins with this one.
Well, do you know much about World War II?
Yeah, well, I know
The premise of it.
the premise.
Yeah,
I don't know all the fine details, like the names of people or the dates.
Well,
I know it was 39 to 45.
yeah.
But I don't know all the specific, like the timeline.
Well, if you're thinking just a generalization with World War, like the whole technological advancements with like modern tanks and radar and nuclear stuff, it probably would have been like developed slower, like over time. Like now, North Korea, US, Russia, like all these different countries have nuclear missiles and all that. If you think about like if World War wasn't a thing because it was such a rushed thing and people just were like, just do it, just like making just tons of stuff. If that didn't happen, would we have nuclear power now, essentially? Like there's that debate, if it didn't happen, there'd be no United Nations, possibly no European unions. True. And all that. Yeah, and the US and Russia or Soviet Union at the time wouldn't be superpowers. Wouldn't be big figures today. And then it goes to the next topic of like, what if it ended differently? Would the whole world be run by Germany? That just makes you think. That just like... Because obviously it was sparked on by the Germans. And the whole... I guess, like... Yeah, that whole thing. If they took over those countries that they first attacked and, you know, ruled them, like France wouldn't be a thing right now. The UK wouldn't be a thing right now.
Yeah, most of Europe.
Yeah, most of Europe, and then it would have just, over time, just gradually come down. It's like right now China's trying to take over Taiwan. You know, that's constantly going on. Eventually Taiwan might not even be a country. And like, not meaning to get political or anything, but now that Donald Trump's in power, who knows what's going to happen with Russia, Ukraine, and China and Taiwan. Like, these countries might not be a thing. Because you think about it, like Yugoslavia, that's gone. Because it's split up now into like 5 different countries. But that was a country. And now that, like, I don't want to say it, but World War III could happen. What's going to happen after that?
Yeah, I don't know. World War III is going to be scary.
With,
as you said, the advancements in technology.
I don't...
Like, pretty much every power has nuclear.
I don't think it'll get... Like, everybody says it'll get to nuclear warfare, but I have a feeling it just wouldn't. Because it's just like...
I don't know, man. These leaders are pretty erratic.
What, you think that they'll just fire a nuclear missile into...
I wouldn't put it past Trump.
Washington.
I wouldn't put it past Trump to just drop a nuclear missile on.
But
someone.
I guess the good thing is the only positive I can say with Trump being president is his relationship with Putin. Like, he does have a good relationship with Putin. And he does have a good relationship with, or semi-good relationship with Kim Jong-un. So, at least, you know, you don't have like Joe Biden pissing them off sort of thing. Like, Trump knows Putin pretty damn well. And they meet constantly. And like, one of his points in his campaign was to be like, I will make sure that we're on good terms with Russia. Because... the power that Russia has, they can take anyone and they will probably win. I mean, Ukraine is fighting so hard. Like, I mean, they do have support from the US and the UK and all that. But, yeah. Who knows? And if World War II never happened, you know, like the whole... civil rights movement would have been postponed and all of that stuff. A lot of stuff. Great Depression would have never happened.
Yep. Just comes down to the butterfly effect.
Which we'll touch on later.
Do we?
Oh, not really. No. Yeah, like the domino effect is what you mean.
Yeah. One thing happens.
Another thing happens, yeah. But yeah. That's a big thing. Oh, pardon me, I got that so wrong. The Great Depression was before it was World War One, end of World War One, so that was wrong.
Yeah, we boomed after World War II?
Yeah, that was the
50s were like the best time.
It was
for a lot of people.
Well, that's because war ended. They didn't think there was going to be another war.
The economy was great.
Yeah.
Basically, from the 50s to the 70s, the economy was amazing.
Yeah. That's why if you own a 50s or a 70s, I don't know, watch or something, it just would be so expensive because you bought it for so nothing, and now it's worth millions.
And everyone was happy, weren't they? Everyone was just
happy times,
living it up.
Countries have resolved their issues. Yeah. I mean, we touched on the moon landing, but yeah. We won't touch on it again because we spent ages on that just then. But there is this one. What if Alexander the Great had lived longer? Do you know much about Alexander the Great?
No. Can't say I do.
We won't talk about that then.
When was he around?
Oh,
BC?
I think, BC. So
this is like ancient.
This is ancient history.
Ancient history.
I didn't do ancient history, but I do know a little bit about him. But
yeah, forgive me. I don't know too much about Alexander the Great.
He was famous for, although he was the ancient Macedonian king, he created a vast empire that stretched from Macedonia to Egypt and from Greece to the part of India. So he created empires, bro. Empires. It's a pretty cool place to die, though, Babylon. Not gonna lie. But no, we'll skip that. Another sort of historical thing. What if the Black Death never happened? You don't know much about the Black Death, do you?
No, I do.
Okay.
I do. When was it though? Is this before?
What, like Black Death? That was 1346 to 1353. So pretty early on. How many people did it wipe out?
Is this bubonic plague? No.
No, that's something different. The Black Death is... Oh, no, yeah. It was a bubonic plague pandemic.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that I suppose naturally controls the population.
Mm.
You know, like because of advancements today in medicine and treatment, we all pretty much survived COVID. Like obviously we had a couple, like there were several deaths, but compare that to something like this. Even 100 years ago with, you know, Spanish flu and stuff.
True. Influenza and all that.
So, yeah, it's just really interesting how, based on the period of time that these pandemics occur.
Yeah, imagine if COVID was back in the 1400s.
Yeah.
Would have wiped out probably the entire human race. Not going to lie.
A fair chunk, at least.
Well, the Black Death was mainly in Europe. Was basically only in Europe. So, because travel wasn't a huge thing back then.
Yeah.
Like.
So was it an epidemic?
Pandemic.
Pandemic.
So, it was killing millions of people, possibly as many as 50% of Europe's population at the time. So, the symptoms sound pretty fucked, though, not gonna lie. Like, included high fevers, chills, abdominal, arm, leg pains, headaches, large swollen lymph nodes that leaked pus. Like, yuck. COVID, you just felt like shit. Yeah. The origin, the Black Death, is thought to have originated in Asia over 2,000 years ago. It may have been spread through trading ships. But yeah, like, if travel was as commercial as it is now, that probably would have wiped out a hell of a lot more people. But one dude eating a bat in China can send the whole world in a panic nowadays.
I mean, I think after post-COVID, I think we're very, very aware of that stuff now.
Yeah. Like, I still like hand sanitize. I'd never used it before COVID. Never. I wash my hands, obviously, because I'm hygienic. But, like, even when I, like, touch bins and shit, I'd always just use the hand sand or something. Or just wash my hands straight after. Like, you just become used to it now. Like, before, I'd just be like, that's all right. Picked up my dog's shit and I'll eat food. But you never know.
What?
No, like... Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah, so if that never happened, I guess... I think the population would just be higher. I think we'd just have probably slightly more people in the world.
Yeah, that is one
as opposed to... What are we at now? 7 billion?
I think we're almost at 8. I actually think we're almost at 8. Yeah.
Alright, so as opposed to 8, I'd say we'd probably be at like 9.
Yeah.
If the Black Death never happened.
I
don't know, that's my prediction.
Oh, that's not good. You know, when I'll explain it after. 8.2 billion. Holy fuck. It was at 7 like last year, wasn't it? Surely not. 2023. Wow.
Just keeps going up.
Wow. 2020 was 7.8 billion. And now it is 8.2 billion.
Look up, estimate like the projected world population.
What of what year? 2050?
Just whatever.
Projected world population of 2050 is 9.6 billion people. That is fucked.
It's almost 10 billion.
I think by the time that we get to that, though, I feel like there's going to be another COVID that just wipes out a bunch, or just something happens like another war.
But we'll be prepared for COVID stuff. I'll tell you what the biggest issue is: bacteria.
Yeah.
So I learned this in high school actually, and it made me really stressed. We only have 8 or 9 antibiotics. We've only got 8 or 9 that we know. So if there is a bacteria out there that is resistant to all 8 or 9, we're fucked. Like, we actually cannot do anything about it. Like, you can't treat it.
That's fucked.
Yeah. Isn't that scary?
That is quite scary. Because there's more than 10 bacteria out there in the world.
Yeah, and the other scary thing is bacterial resistance. So when you get prescribed antibiotics, a doctor will usually say, like, make sure you have it for the full course. So, like, 7 days. Because a lot of people, you know, have antibiotics for 3 days and go, oh, I feel better, so I'm going to stop taking it.
Mm.
What happens is the bacteria that you were trying to get rid of has now adapted to that antibiotic, so it's now developed a resistance to it. So now if you have that antibiotic again in the future, it's not going to kill the bacteria. So you'll be like resistant.
That's why I always get strep throat. Surely.
Yeah, so you probably haven't had a full course of antibiotics.
I remember the first time I had strep throat, I just did exactly what you said.
Oh, I feel better. I'll stop taking it. Yeah.
And now I take I keep getting strep throat.
So now that antibiotic that you were taking is not going to help with your strep throat. So you got to try another one. And this is the issue. If we go through all 9 antibiotics, we're fucked.
Right,
So moral of the story is take the full course. Take the full course of antibiotics.
I do now because I understand. Like, I knew what you were saying before. Slightly, but not as much as that. Anyway, yeah, but that's. I mean, we'll move on because we spent so much
science nerd inside of me.
We'll move on from this topic because we spent so much time on it. But we'll jump into some
debates.
Our new segment of the most pointless arguments ever. Cool. That's our new intro, guys. If you haven't seen it already.
Most pointless. This one is I think it's like a psychological test for a lot of people. I don't know what it means, but would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses.
Yeah.
Because they're tiny, bro. You can just step on them.
But there's 100.
Yeah.
That's a fair bit.
It's 100 steps. And sometimes if you do...
But what if they're coming at you from all...
If you do a big swing, you could get, like, multi-kill. Sorry to any vegans out there. But,
or one horse-sized duck. Wouldn't a horse-sized duck be pretty chill? It's just a huge duck.
Nah, ducks are vicious. If you got bred, they're fucking vicious. I will say that.
True.
Like, have you been fishing before?
A couple times.
And you ever been like on the shore fishing and you essentially just you have like bread as bait.
You
sometimes.
throw a bit of bread into the lake.
Yeah.
And the ducks
Just come and come and come.
I have done that. Yeah.
But then they just don't leave you alone. So I have no bread. Fuck off.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's the same with seagulls.
Yeah, bro.
It's the same with a lot of birds, actually.
Pigeons. Oh, bro. But that's my answer.
And bin chickens.
Don't even get me started on ibises, bro.
All right, 100 duck-sized horses. Nice. All right, what's the superior utensil? Fork, spoon, or spork? I like sporks.
I do like sporks.
But I don't know if I'd use them all the time.
I think...
Because sometimes it's nice just to have a fork.
I was going to say spoon.
As the
most superior. Because what you can do with a fork, you can do with a spoon.
It's true.
And what you can do with a spoon, you can't do with a fork.
It's very true.
Think about that. Think about that. Your mind's just jogging.
You nailed it.
Like you can have soup with a spoon, you can't have soup with a...
But what about like if I was having a steak and I had a spoon and a knife, do you reckon I could do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you just hold it and then cut... If you have a knife, yeah, that's fine. You can... If you have a whole steak... Like, okay, so we got a steak and we have no knife and we just have a fork. You could just dab it and then just eat it. You can't pick up a whole steak with a spoon, can you? So there is that. If we're talking we don't have knives, then there is that. But if we have a knife, you can definitely just stick your fork into one side and just cut it and then just scoop it up. But I think the day I see someone eating a steak with a spoon, I think that will go famous. That will go viral on the internet. If anyone's ever eating a steak with a spoon.
So spoon. I actually agree.
Yeah. Thank you.
Otherwise a spork, because sporks are pretty useful.
That is true.
Like on the plane.
Yeah. When you get it, yeah.
The
Budget airlines.
The multi-tool.
The multi-tool. It's like a Swiss Army knife.
You can poke it, but also slurp it. Do you put milk or cereal in the bowl first? I think there's only one right way to do it.
Cereal first. Yeah.
I think that's the right way to do it. But
do you know anyone that puts in milk first?
No, I don't know anyone. Have I tried it? Yes.
But to be honest,
I've tried. Like I've definitely as a kid put milk in, and put cereal on top. Didn't you ever try that?
Nope. To be honest, I wasn't a big cereal fan growing up, and I still aren't. I don't really have cereal.
The issue with putting milk in first is you overestimate.
Yeah.
So you know exactly how much milk to put in if you put the cereal in first. Whereas if you do it the other way around, you're like,
oh fuck, I gotta go get the milk again.
Extra milk.
We have too little, and it's just
too little.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a dumb one, that one.
Yeah. We'll do one more.
Should we do one more?
One more.
Would you rather time travel to the future or time travel to the past? And you can only go...
Oh.
Actually, I'll add a rule. So it's a one-time usage.
One-way trip.
One-way trip.
I would say future. No, past. I'm going past for sure, because you can change the outcome of today. Future's already been made for you.
It's a tough one.
Like, I want to go to the future to see what happens later.
Yeah, but then you're stuck there.
And what if it's shit? Whereas the past, you know what's happened in the past.
But it could also be fucking awesome.
It could be. It really could be.
Like, imagine the technology.
Yeah. That is so true.
I think the issue with going to the past is you could change things for sure in a good way, but you could also change things in a bad way. Like you could you could stuff something up.
Yeah.
Prevent something really major from happening.
That is true. I'm still going to
Like
say pasta.
meeting certain people, you'd fuck that all up.
I wouldn't fuck it up, bro. I'm smart. I'm a smart man.
And what about if you saw yourself? How far back would you go?
Oh, like 70s.
70s?
Probably.
I reckon I would do the exact same. I would go 70s.
Maybe 60s, just so I can prepare for the 70s.
I would go like the turn of the decade, so 1970.
The year my mother was born.
So turn of the decade.
Yeah. Would we be the same age when we were
I want to be like a 22-year-old in 1970.
That would be the life, man. Anyway, that was the segment of the most pointless arguments ever. All right. Now let's move on. Here's another fun little topic. Some of the craziest laws around the world. Now, I've got a few here. I think I've only got about 5, but we can discuss them. In Kansas, it's illegal to hunt whales.
Good on them.
But I'm confused because Kansas doesn't have water.
It's in the middle of the country.
It's in the middle of the US. So maybe if you're a citizen of Kansas, you cannot hunt whales. I don't really know about that one, but apparently that's a law. So we'll move on. In Switzerland, guinea pigs must be kept in pairs. So you can never buy a guinea pig by itself. And that is to prevent loneliness.
That's weird.
That is weird. Because guinea pigs entertain themselves, do they not?
I don't know. I've never had a guinea pig.
Yeah, they're a bit ugly.
Have you ever had a guinea pig?
Never. I've seen, obviously, been around someone who's had a guinea pig, but I feel like my cousin had a guinea pig or she had a bunny rabbit or something. I don't know.
They always die.
They do. Especially when you just, like, take a photo and accidentally have the flash on.
I had a cousin. Actually, I think my cousins had guinea pigs too. And one of them escaped out of the cage.
Oh, no.
And it died. I think the issue is they're so fragile. So it died because they had a cat, right? And the cat ran through the house as the guinea pig escaped. And I think it just died from shock. It died from shock.
Oh, that is just the way you explained it. It escaped the cage. It died. Oh my god.
You already knew when it escaped the cage.
Yeah, that's it. That's life over. But that's the thing. Guinea pigs are only meant to be in cages.
It's so sad.
I know. It is so sad.
Oh well.
Well, I hope.
But yeah, I don't really know why they have to be in pairs.
Bro, Switzerland has some weird laws. There's another one in here, which I will say. In Switzerland, you cannot flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in some apartment buildings. Let me just add that. I feel like Switzerland is like almost like Japan, how they're super respectful.
Yeah.
Like they have these laws.
Is that not Sweden though? I thought Sweden. I thought all the like Norway and.
Yeah, well, I mean they're like.
They were super organized and aware and environmentally friendly.
I mean, they created IKEA.
You know, they have no homework.
Yeah, and in Norway, I know they finish school at like, they only do school for like 3 hours a day or something.
It's like midday.
Yeah, they do like a 9 to 12 or something.
And they don't give them homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway,
that's because why is that? they're like naturally smart or something like that. I don't know.
No, I think they just found out that there's a better way to teach. Like there's a more effective way to teach. Like shoving kids in a classroom for 8 hours a day and giving them a bunch of homework.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like you look back and you're like, I see why they did that, but at the same time, when you were there, you were like, oh, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I reckon they definitely could have condensed
the amount.
The
yeah,
amount.
for sure.
There were definitely days at school, weeks at school, where I was sitting there going,
what's the point?
What's going on?
Yeah. Anyway,
So, yeah.
In our homeland, in Australia, it's illegal to disrupt a wedding intentionally.
In Australia?
Wedding crashing. That's funny. I wonder what the fine is for that. I've never heard of that law.
That's kind of good.
Yeah.
That's a good law.
I've never heard of that, though.
I'd hate to have someone just come in and ruin my day.
Oh, wow. It's a guilty offence and can face a maximum penalty of a whopping $10,000 or 2 years imprisonment.
For interrupting a wedding.
Intentionally. Just add that, because there are sometimes where you can unintentionally.
Are they the people going, I object? Is that kind of
that, but also just being like, I don't know, maybe drunk at the wedding and just... That probably happens. That's probably why they did that, because they know Australians are drunks. Probably just people go like, no, you're not marrying my daughter. You know, like something like that. I don't know.
Which happens.
It does happen. It does.
Probably more than we think.
And the final one. In Florida, it's illegal to tie your pet alligator to a fire hydrant. Sorry, I can't say that.
Pet alligator?
It's illegal to tie your pet alligator to the fire hydrant.
Do people have pet alligators?
Yep. That's fun. That's Florida.
Jeez. All right.
Let's move on, because I'm gonna, I think I might cry in laughter with these guinea pigs and pets. But yeah. Here's another topic. One-hit wonders. There are a lot of them in our society. Do you know, without looking at this list, Cal, do you know any one-hit wonders off the top of your head?
I've got a couple.
Yeah.
A couple in my head. Gangnam Style.
Yes and no. I would say yes, because... Yes, but he also did another song.
He did, but how many people would know that song compared to Gangnam Style?
That is true. That's why I'm saying yes as well. But no, because I listened to the other song more than I listened to Gangnam Style when I was, I don't know, how old was I? 13. And he's huge in Korea. Like, he did a concert, I think, last year or something, and there was like thousands of people. Gentleman, that's it.
Oh, that's
Motherfucker, gentleman.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and then...
But come on, like, Gangnam Style has how many billions of views?
I actually do want to look at this. How many views does this have? 5 billion.
5 billion.
Holy Jesus. 5 billion.
5 billion.
That means almost over half of the world's population has watched that. I mean, if you think about it that way, obviously someone could have watched it 10 million times. But, like, still. 5 billion.
Nuts. And that's not even the highest viewed thing on YouTube.
Not. That can be another topic we talk about.
We could, yeah. And then the other one is, which is so ironic. I love telling people this. Somebody that I used to know.
Yeah, that's on here. Yeah.
Somebody that I used to know. Is it, what's his name? Gotye or something?
Gotye. Yeah, Gotye. Gotye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the biggest.
That was a one-hit wonder.
That's the biggest one-hit wonder.
Never heard from him again.
Yeah, or before.
No.
Just came out of nowhere with a banger, and then just disappeared off the face.
It is a banger. I love that song.
It was overplayed though.
It was. I could listen to it now though.
Yeah.
It's just there was a period where
it was just like, nah.
Constantly on. What else is there?
There is Take Me On by Aha.
True.
Macarena by Los Del Rio. Somebody that I used to know. Tub Thumping. I've never heard of that song. I feel like if you play it, I'd know it.
You'd know it.
And then Come On Eileen.
Oh, true.
Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear I don't mean it. But yeah, why do one-hit wonders happen, do you reckon? Is that just lack of motivation for them? Like, do they just go like, oh yeah, I created one good song, I got good pay from it, I'm going to not make any more?
Maybe. I think there's probably a whole range of things. If you look at the artist's discography, whatever that's called, and if they kept making music after the one-hit wonder, then it probably is just unfortunate.
Yeah, true.
They probably just didn't really take off.
Yeah.
But yeah, if some of them make a one-hit wonder and then just don't make any more music, then that's probably the reason.
Like, how much money do you reckon got from?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I mean, he'd still get money.
He would, because people still
be getting money.
I think the most profitable out of all that I read is definitely Take On Me.
Or Come On Eileen.
I feel like Take On Me is a bit more well known. I mean, I still play that till today. Just sometimes it comes on, you know. And you're like, do. And especially with that trend on TikTok like 4 years ago, where it was like the turn.
Oh, true.
The meme that originated into like a trend. He would have been like, oh, why have I just been paid like $3 million? All right, cool.
Yeah, it's all the royalties.
It is.
You get so much from Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're
crazy.
Big.
If you're big, yeah. Right, the next topic is the most bizarre fan theories. So this is kind of relating to acting and film and television and all that. There's a few fan theories that we've researched and makes you think of an alternate reality of these movies or TV shows. So the first one, which we sort of discussed in the Disney Pixar one, the Pixar universe theory. So every Pixar film exists in a shared timeline. If you think about it, I mean, it goes back to saying which one's Pixar and which one's Disney, but
yeah, I read this. Does it mention Brave? Did you get all the info on this?
I think so.
It mentions.
Did we look up the same article?
Yeah. It mentions. Yeah, here it is. So it says.
Oh yeah.
It says Brave, the film with the frizzy redhead.
Sorry.
Brave introduces magic, which later leads to anthropomorphism of animals. So like Ratatouille.
Lion King.
Cars. It's like, isn't anthropomorphism like
animals talking,
like,
yeah, I think so.
Or like inanimate things talking and coming to life?
I think so. That's weird.
Anyway, so they're basically saying that Ratatouille, the reason why animals can speak and things in the Disney Pixar universe is because of Brave.
Yeah.
Because of the magic.
Yeah. I see that.
Or the reason why cars can talk is because of the magic from Brave. The events of WALL-E depict the future of this world with humanity rebuilding on Earth. Yeah. So that would come at the end.
True.
The end of the timeline. Yeah, interesting. I know that there's Easter eggs. Have you seen all the Easter eggs?
Yeah.
Like they always hint the next film in the previous film.
Yeah, I have seen that, and it's quite niche that they do that.
I know in one of the Toy Stories, in one of the scenes, there's like a Nemo toy, like on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's another thing in Toy Story as well. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, it was in a different film, but it had that, you know, the ball. It had that star. Oh, that's on that.
Monsters
ball.
Inc.
Yes. Yes.
It was in the kid's room.
Yeah,
there was like a
yeah,
Toy Story ball.
That is so true. Oh, bro, that just gives back flashbacks. Anyway, the next one is Willy Wonka is a serial killer.
So I've heard this, and it makes sense.
It does
because he's a bit loony.
He is
He's a bit of a crazy dude.
And he just weans in these children,
and all the kids that enter the factory basically die, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's not essentially like a theory. It's sort of. It is. It is it.
It's kind of a dark thing.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
It is.
Especially the Gene Wilder one, like the original. Like the OG Willy Wonka.
OG.
There's that scene where he's on the boat and all the things are like flashing and he's like chanting.
Yeah.
It's like some ritual.
It's kind of like, yeah.
It used to scare the shit out of me as a kid.
Oh, bro. Johnny Depp scared the shit out of me when I watched that one.
True.
He played that very well.
I actually like the Johnny Depp one.
Same. I like that more.
Yeah, it's tough. They're both so good.
They are. But have you seen the Rugrats?
Yeah.
The Rugrats theory of Angelica imagines all the babies because they never existed.
See, I don't know if I like these ones because it's like it was all in their head.
Yeah, that's like one down lower in the track. Which is Friends. Phoebe imagined the entire series.
Yeah, see, I don't like that because it's like it just ruins the whole thing.
It does, and it just ruins the beauty of it.
It's like classic thing of, and they woke up. You know, finishing the story. Yeah, finishing the story with, and they woke up.
That's what our English teachers used to say. Never say at the end of your exam it was all a dream.
Well, it's true. Like it just ruins it.
It does.
But I understand the theory because Phoebe's very nuts.
Yeah, crazy. And she has all those links to the homeless.
True.
And it's just like, how do you know these people? But anyway. Titanic. Another thing. Jack is the figment of Rose's imagination, representing her desire to escape her life. I mean, personally, I've never seen Titanic, but...
You've never seen Titanic?
I've never seen Titanic. It's never interested me. It never has. I know the historical events.
It's a good movie.
But
it is a good movie.
It is on my list. It is.
You're a history dude though, right?
Yeah.
So it's very inaccurate. I remember the first time I watched
That's why I don't want to watch it, partially.
Yeah, it's more for the story.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched it, my dad points out that when the boat actually starts to sink and they all jump in the water, in the film, they're all in still water.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas historically, there would have been a lot of motion.
Yeah.
Like huge waves, rough seas.
Especially with that big of a ship going down.
Yeah. And a lot of them would have frozen very quickly.
Yeah. In
the film, it's like, oh, I'm slowly dying.
I'm cold.
Give me another hour or two, and then I'll be dead. It's like, no, you would have frozen to death pretty quickly.
I mean, I've seen documentaries of like the actual people who were on that ship, like say like, oh, the movie is just not right at all.
Yeah, so it's more for the story,
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it is like I do want to watch it, but it's more like I like watching historical things and making sure that they're accurate. Like Hacksaw Ridge is pretty accurate because Desmond Doss like actually was part of the story. Like they did their research and they got the proper story off Desmond Doss. And Dunkirk is pretty accurate too. Like
it is. I know that because my mum's
dad,
cousin, or uncle or something. There's some connection. Was like mentioned in the film.
Oh really?
Yeah, was like a part of the specific situation in the film that they kind of cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some kind of link to that, which is cool.
That's pretty sick.
Unless Nana's crazy. She did tell me that.
Which does tend to happen. But anyway, the final topic we'll discuss before we wrap up, we're probably over hours, but just touching on some Mandela effects. They're quite fun to discuss, and a lot of them you've probably already heard of.
How do you make sense of these?
Research?
No, how like personally, how do you make sense of the Mandela effect? Like, I swear that was a thing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, does it feel like it's not like an alternative reality?
It kind of does. Like, or it's just like a no. What? Nah.
Because I swear some of them I have felt. Like, I swear.
Yeah, like
I
this
swear
first
the Monopoly
one,
Man had a monocle.
This first one, yeah. The first one is the Monopoly Man's monocle. He never had one.
I swear he had one. I swear.
I swear he did too. I am
it's
genuine.
Even been referenced in like movies and shit.
Like, I am almost so, or like even like old Monopoly sets.
Yeah, because my initial thought was, like in the newer sets, they got rid of it.
Yeah. That's
but
what I
no,
think.
he never had a monocle, ever.
Like.
Yeah, but that never existed.
Which is just bullshit.
So this is what I'm saying. It's like alternative reality.
That is so weird. Yeah. Bernstein and the Bernstein bears. It's like people thought it was Bernstein, like Stein, but it's Bernstein, like Stain. I don't really know too much about the Bernstein bears, but everybody thought it was spelt with an E, not an A. This one's wig out. Pikachu's tail. What do you think Pikachu's tail looks like?
I don't know, yellow? And like squiggly?
Yeah, but like anything else on the tail? Or is it just solid yellow?
I actually don't know.
I used to play Pokemon all the time. I always thought it was like had a black tip or just black outlines. It's just solid yellow. And I was like, what? But it is. He has black on him. Like,
show me a photo of Pikachu, because I'm not a big Pokemon.
Like his ears are what does it.
Oh, right.
But everybody thought like his tail had black on it. But I guess the bottom of it has like a bit of brown. But it's the ears. You look at the ears and you're like, oh, the tail must be the same. Or something like that. Yeah. Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. It wasn't a line. It's never been said. It's I am your father.
Yeah. No, I am your father. That's weird.
Yeah.
I think it's probably just a pop culture thing.
Probably. Someone
probably just said it on like a t-shirt. And then everyone's been like, oh, yeah, Luke, I am your father.
Febreze versus Febreze. Do you know Febreze? Like like
air freshener.
Everybody thinks, and I still do to this day, that it's spelt with 2 E's in breeze. But it's only spelt with 1. No one really cares about that one. This one, We Are the Champions by Queen. How does the song end? Like lyrics wise.
Of the world? Doesn't it say like... Am I wrong?
Yeah. It just stops. The song doesn't end that way. It just stops abruptly, apparently. They don't say of the world at the end. It's like, we are the champions. We are the champions. Boom, boom, boom. It doesn't say of the world.
Oh, that's so annoying.
It's so weird, though. But yeah.
I swear he sings like, of the world.
Apparently not.
Doesn't he sing that in the movie? You know how there's like
in Bohemian Rhapsody.
But that was like a cover. That was a live concert.
It was Live Aid. The Kit Kat logo. Some recall a dash between Kit and Kat, but there has never been a dash between the Kit Kat between Kit and Kat in the logo.
Bullshit.
Yeah. I will show you. Never been a dash. It's the T.
That's so weird.
I think it's the T. Like that little bit of the T.
Even when I write Kit Kat like on my phone, I like put a little dash.
But there's never been a dash in the Kit Kat logo. That's such a wig out. Oh.
Weird.
Looney Tunes versus Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
like you
T-O-O-N-S.
Yeah. It's actually spelled Tunes, which is just like, what? Oh, wow. I just read that one. The famous quote from Forrest Gump. What is it?
Life is like a box of chocolates.
No. Life was like a box of chocolates.
That's such a minor thing.
I know, but yeah.
Damn. Life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. This one's weird. Some people remember Australia being farther north or closer to Asia on the world maps. Truth, its placement hasn't changed. It's south of Papua New Guinea and east of Indonesia. Does some people actually think it's north or closer to Asia?
Yeah, I think some people think it's like right underneath India.
What? How stupid can you be?
I don't know. These people that you see on the
like flat
Americans,
earthers.
the guy that walks
yeah.
around Americans. He's like,
it's like Billy on the Street almost.
It's like, can you list some American states? Yeah, no worries. L.A., New York.
I mean, New York is a state though.
Yeah, but it's like
no,
they just say like stupid shit.
I'm pretty sure that's Jimmy Kimmel. Like that's his thing.
Yeah.
Like he goes around. I saw the segment where it was like before voting, for Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
It was like, so Donald Trump, Joe Biden actually like slept with a minor and paid for prostitution, all this and all that. And what do you think? Would you vote for Joe Biden? Oh no, Joe Biden's an idiot. And he's like, what? But Trump actually did that. He goes, well, no. Well, and like explain it. It's just like what? Oh God. But yeah, that's just some Americans for you. They just don't really know what's going on. But that's it for episode 19. So, yeah.
Thanks for listening and watching.
And next episode is going to be episode 20, which is going to be the final episode of season 1 of Current Hour Podcast. And then season 2 will be entirely something brand new. We might switch up the loco. Might not be on a couch anymore. Who knows? Could be at a table. Because I don't know about you, Cal, but I don't like these stands.
Getting a bit flimsy.
They are getting a bit flimsy.
Mine collapsed.
They did.
Last episode.
Yeah, if you saw that. It's quite funny.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, we might be at a table next season. Might be a bit easier. And might have a dual camera set up. Who knows? We will let that all be decided in future. But yeah, this is the second last episode of season 1. We'll have one more episode of season 1. And we'll discuss if we want to take a break over the New Year's just to give everyone a break. I don't think we will. We'll decide.
Yeah.
But
before the new season, we might. But
yeah,
who knows? We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next ep, guys. Catch you later.